Coming up, are you a spender or are you a saver? If you start early, saving for retirement doesn't have to be so intimidating.
Well, right now we have a financial planner in our studio with advice on just how much you need to start saving. And if you have any questions, financial questions at all, you can send us a tweet at Fox Baltimore or post your questions on our Facebook page. How much retirement savings do you have right now? No matter your age, there are some benchmarks to help you reach your retirement goal. Managing partner Kyle Winkfield of DC office of Odell, Winkfield, Roseman & Ship is here for a Take Action Thursday. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate this.
Love it, Tom. How you doing?
You talk money, you talk numbers, and the most, I guess, intimidating part of anybody that doesn't talk numbers and finances is retirement. When we think about retirement, you know, we get this little tiny bits of groundwork, and we're saying, oh, it's way off in the future. I'll start saving when I start making money. And you hear about a 4% rule, and I just brought that up to you. I said, do you know much about the 4% rule? And what did you say?
Well, the 4% rule was something that was pioneered in the 90s. Right. However, it's kind of losing steam, because if you look at what the market's done, if you use the S&P 500 as a benchmark over the past 16 years, right, it's not returning what you need. Plus, the idea is if you have a portfolio and you're drawing down 4%, what's the probability of that portfolio or that nest egg lasting for as long as you're going to be here? Okay, so I like to help people start thinking, instead of benchmarks and 4% rules, let's start thinking about there really is no set amount that you should be saving, because you've got to start thinking about retirement as a picture. What are you going to do? Right. Okay, and that what you're doing, all those things you're going to be doing, that has a number. It's got money associated with it. So once you think about what that is, whether you're 20, 30, 50, 60 years old, you can then back into your number, and it becomes one size fits you.
All right, Transamerica, they put out a study recently, and they just gave a benchmark of where people stand right now in those different age brackets. For the layperson like myself, who doesn't know how much we should have depending on how we're spending, if we could bring that graphic up, I broke it down. The 20s, they're saying when you're in your 20s, right now, people, median retirement savings of $16,000. 30s, it's $45,000. Here it is right here. 40s, $63,000 for people in their 50s, $117,000 for people in their 60s. It's $172,000. And when we brought this up in our morning meeting, everybody around the table said, I don't have that much. And this is just the median. And this is saying this is a low standard, according to Transamerica, for what you want to do for retirement at 65, living to 95 is what they based it off of.
Yes, they did base it off of that, and those numbers, although Americans are saving money, we're not saving enough. Right. And so the focus now needs to become on not losing money and seeing if we can put more money aside. Okay? So when I think about not losing money, especially with my clients, I want you to think about fish. Okay, you have two fish tanks. You have a fish tank with piranhas. Now, piranhas are robust, they're strong, but they're risky. And then you have another tank with goldfish. So those are safe. You can stick your finger in the tank, and your finger's not going to get bitten off. Right. You need both. Okay?
A little bit of both.
You need a little bit of both, and I think the focus is always on, let me put as much money in investments as possible, grow, 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 but without any thought that risk does mean you could lose money.
Yeah, but, okay, when we come back after the break, you're going to be taking some questions from our viewers here, but we'll talk about the fish tank a little bit there, because I'm saying, well, I can't afford a fish tank right now. I'll get a fish tank a little bit later on when I'm kind of bored and I want to sit at home and watch fish. But you're going to break that down for us here after the break. All right, thank you very much. Well, after the break, financial planner Kyle Winkfield will be back answering your questions. You can send us a tweet at Fox Baltimore or go through our Facebook page. You know it. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning. That's exactly what happened yesterday. Kyle Winkfield from Odell, Winkfield, Roseman & Ship is taking your calls about retirement benchmarks for our Take Action Thursday. If you have a question, give us a call. Our phone lines are open right now, 410-481-4545. You can send us a tweet at Fox Baltimore or go through our Facebook page. We were just talking about if you're just joining us now, right before the break, we were talking about two fish tanks. And we were saying piranhas is one way. They're exciting, and you need to feed them a little bit more, but they're dangerous. Kind of like a risk assessment on where you're putting your money, versus the goldfish tank, where, you know what, they move around a little bit slower, not as fun to watch. You put some money in there, and you're not going to get bit. You're not going to get bit by it, and you'll hang on to them longer, where the piranhas die off quicker. Kind of using that as monetary form, I guess, here. If you were... We're talking about for retirement, though, is saying how much do you give to each tank? Okay,
great question. That totally determines on, one, how old are you, number two, and most importantly, whether you're 20 or 50. Right. Save with income in mind. What kind of paycheck do you want in retirement? and then understanding that you got to have some money in both tanks. But if you're all in one tank, the biggest word is diversification. Some people think in terms of asset class. I think in terms of fish. Okay. What kind of fish do you got? Do you have all piranhas? Are they all? Is everything in the market? I know you want to grow the money, but there's a balance there.
But it grows fast, and you see a result quicker.
That can happen, but what happens, think about 2008, 2009, right? It grew really fast, and then for some people, they lost 30, 40, 50% of their money.
And piranha's jumping into my goldfish tank.
Right. You don't want that either.
Okay.
So I think really looking at products and strategies that give you both, the best of both worlds. Okay.
If I'm 20 years old, how much should I be putting away on average medium income? Just say we're talking like the median income right now. They were saying based on a $63,000 overall career path. So at the age of 20, when you're making a little bit of money, how much should we be setting aside? Is there any kind of rule at all?
Unfortunately, there's not a benchmark because everyone's lifestyle at 20 is going to be different.
Right.
You're going to have different obligations. Some people will have kids. Some people will be single. Some people will be married. So because we have different obligations, you can't really set forth a benchmark. But what we do want to know is, do you have an employer-sponsored retirement account? Because if you do, then you're going to want to participate because many of those actually still give you a match. So if you can contribute up to the match, that's great. That's a good start, okay? The second part is do something. So many people just wait. When this happens, when that happens, then I'll get started. And understanding that time is your greatest asset when saving money, okay? Time is.
Starting at a younger age brings back the goldfish, the fat goldfish later on in life.
That's right.
All right, thank you very much, Kyle Winkfield. Thank you so much for your time coming in. We appreciate it.